It's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's the night shift.
We're back.
We are back live. Live microphones. Hot mics.
Hot mic.
Oh, hope everybody's having a good week. Halfway there. For some of us, there's a long weekend somewhere. For me, there's going to be an extra long weekend because feeling a little cold, chest cold coming on for tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, today was my last day at my previous employer. The takeover has officially begun. So,
the takeover has arrived.
Yeah. So now I'm off tomorrow, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday I go back and do the same job just for a different company.
Dumb.
It's probably not going to be a good time. Actually,
Dumb.
Probably going to be the opposite of a good time. But bills have to be paid.
True. YouTube's still skimping on the notification. Our YouTube, for those that haven't noticed, it's doing its own thing at this point.
Yeah.
It's double posting videos, old videos, new videos, just let it
doing
happen.
what it wants.
I'm personally blaming the Fae. So
I would almost bet that's the case.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of. It's the only thing. But how many people we got in here? Almost 40. Let's,
not terrible,
as a whole, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because that's what we do on YouTube. Algorithm. You gotta say all the hot button words.
Yeah. So I got some things to talk about. Steve, you got anything to talk about?
I got some stuff. I'm sure we're probably gonna overlap, but we'll just
cross the streams. I figured as much.
We do cross the streams.
Yeah, it happens. It's just the way it goes.
I'm trying to see. I saved some stuff somewhere. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Yeah. Go for it. Shoot.
Okay.
Let's talk about some weird stuff.
Appetizer of the evening. What do you think about the bridge?
Where
you at on that?
Nah. I don't know.
You know?
I don't know.
I've heard a lot of people discuss it.
Yeah.
A lot of theories, a lot of people discussing. A lot of sound-minded people, I'll say that, suggesting that odds are cyber tech. Not sure I'm 100% sold on it, but it is curious.
Yeah. It's not the first bridge that's come down from a boat mishap.
Yeah, I think Twiz just definitely capitalized on that.
Yeah. I mean, I know it impeded a lot of the workflow in that area and the port specifically, but I also feel like if somebody was going to go through that and try to make a point, they wouldn't have done it at like in the early morning hour. They'd probably wait till like rush hour.
Yeah, I mean,
that was packed full.
Yeah, you would think there'd be a little bit more of a statement to be made versus inconvenience. I mean, I know that people lost their lives, which is a fucking tragedy.
Yeah.
Especially over if it is kind of like one of them dumb mistakes, because they were saying that particular boat had been in an accident prior, and since then the boat had never been right, which just seems so fucking irresponsible to be like, I mean, I know it's fucked, but we'll just go ahead and send it. What's the worst that could happen? Well, you just saw what the worst that could happen is.
Yeah, it was the video was crazy.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, they said the captain sent out quite a few early warning maydays where they had most of the bridge blocked off
Oh,
before
really?
it ever made contact. Yeah.
Either way, it's terrifying.
And you also have to consider American infrastructure at this point because it's held on with
Falling
like
apart.
tack welds and duct tape and
Yeah.
prayers and hopes and dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Conoco might be right. It might be aliens.
Best
You
case
just never
scenario.
know. You just never know
Best
this.
case scenario. It's aliens. Um, what else was I think? I saw a couple like science videos on like why the bridge came down the way it did. It being like, yeah, I don't even fucking remember, to be honest with you. They talked about the way the bridge was built and how when one of those pillars fail, it pretty much all just kind of goes as is.
Which kind of seems dumb. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that bridge was huge, like a mile and a half over that. That's a big bridge.
Like, you would think that there would be almost like the ability to section it, I guess, if something terrible happens, but I guess we don't think that far ahead.
Yeah.
And Virgil, you're probably right.
Yeah. And like I don't know enough about the area, like which way the water runs and what the currents are there to like make an assumption on why the boat moved
Somebody
the way it did.
suggested that they did the research on it and checked out the currents mixed with the full moon and the wind, and it is plausible that if the ship lost power, that the combination of all of that could have pushed the ship into the pillar.
Yeah,
Even though it was like a 80,000 ton vessel. I'm pretty sure that's what they said it was, about 80,000 tons.
That's big.
Yeah, the Paranormal Trucker's right. That is another appreciate you, Outlaw.
Doubling
That
down
is
on the
another
aliens.
big issue in regards to that bridge going down. It stops the hazmat route because that was the route they take was going over that bridge because they can't go through the tunnels without, I guess, gobs and gobs of permits and stuff like that. So I don't know. Either way, unfortunate accident. I hope that it wasn't some form of attack. But I mean, if you freaking think about it, cyber attacks are probably going to start becoming a pretty commonplace thing. I know they are. Well, technically, they are commonplace things. They happen all the time.
Yeah, it's honestly, if it was, it wouldn't be that shocking. You know?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I mean, you just had the big terrorist attack in Moscow.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was insane.
Crazy shit. Which like the world is teetering on World War III anyway.
Yeah,
And then you have shit like that. And then like just the images of that music hall burning look like something out of a movie. And then how many days later, the images of that bridge falling.
yeah.
Also, it's crazy.
Moscow was a pretty serious thing, man.
Yeah. Just if you just Google Moscow attack on the Crocus Music Hall, it's pretty horrific.
In Times Ninja, I would not be surprised at that assessment.
Yeah.
Brother John coming in hot, saving that money due to the Switch. I know you know. Yeah, the Moscow thing is terrible, and it's just so sus all the way around. When you look into that, it has red flags all over it.
Twiz, maybe we're not teetering. Maybe the ball's already started rolling. It's just a slow apocalypse.
Yeah.
Slow World War III.
I don't want a World War III. Not unless it's against aliens.
Yeah. And even then, like,
But segue into my next topic of conversation. This one might be a little bit more interesting to talk about. So, Steve, have you seen the I'm gonna say that it's news coverage. I haven't actually seen the actual news coverage myself, but I've seen clips. There's a lot of clips running around right now of the people that are seeing demonic faces in people.
Oh, I saw that. I saw what you're going to talk about.
How do you feel about that?
I don't even know anymore. Because you have so, like, especially in our field, I say field, but in our niche, you hear encounters of people who specifically describe seeing entities that are exactly what they describe.
Right.
Like with the abnormally wide smiles all the way up
Yeah.
their faces. I feel like this is a cop out. Like, hey, don't worry about seeing that. It's just a mental illness. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Right. I thought it very okay. So I'm gonna try to navigate these waters. Just know that here in about 10 minutes, I'm gonna be talking shit about someone, and I am gonna name that person.
Me?
No, not you. So that's my thoughts, though. Right? Very interesting because I know it's making its rounds like crazy. I know before everybody in the chat goes fucking wild with the logic behind it.
I don't even know where this is gonna go, but I'm here for it.
It's gonna go. So I know there's a quote unquote logical explanation behind it, right? There's a medical reasoning why people see that stuff, which brings me to another point later on. However, I find this very interesting. The timing of it very interesting because you have what in the near future has everybody fucking flipping shit?
WrestleMania.
Well, yes, not what I was referring to. However, equally as flipping shit, the eclipse.
Yeah.
Okay, now Steve, pair this new form of psychosis that's making the rounds with said permission slip you had.
Oh yeah.
About how it can cause kids psychological damage.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Weird how that kind of coincides.
We'll talk about that. So, yeah. Local school district here sent home permission slips for children who are going to view the old eclipse. They purchased them all eclipse glasses and such. But permission slip is unlike anyone that I've seen before. It's multiple pages long. Looks like it has been written up by somebody with probably some law knowledge, But there's an interesting little tidbit in there. But once I find the picture of it, I will share. Right here. It says, I/we have been informed and understand and acknowledge that our/my child may be at risk of serious injury or harm, and that viewing the eclipse involves significant risk of bodily harm and injury, including but not limited to serious and or irreparable damage to the eyes and vision, pain and suffering, and other possible physical or psychological damages if the eclipse safe glasses are not worn properly during the viewing of the eclipse. psychological damages.
Very interesting. Especially comparing it with this new wave of, assuming this is true and it's being ran somewhere, that this new wave of whatever you want to call it, psychosis or malfunction in the brain. Malfunction in the brain is what we'll call it. Very interesting. However, on top of all that, I started listening to somebody that I used to kind of hold in high regard because he seemed he's very well, regardless, he's very well read. He's an intelligent person. What I didn't like is his arrogance behind it. And that would be Steve, you know him, the Museum of Tarot guy.
Oh, yeah.
So he started talking about this. And he essentially started like making fun of people that had believed it to be the possibility of a paranormal event, because he explained like the whole scientific thing. Like, it's this section of your brain that is malfunctioning. It happens to people all the time, and it causes you to see things with the elongated eyes, which in most cases, right off the rip, there's your alien visitations right there. Like the way he was like, it's one thing to explain this process to people. It's another thing to poke fun of people that have a differing opinion. That bothers me a lot.
That dude's notorious for that.
That's not fair. I don't like that at all.
Notorious for that. If you don't fall into the way he thinks about shit or into the narrative he's standing on, he definitely will drag you through the shit.
I mean,
that's
down. Cool. Because I know a couple people that can do the same thing. And probably way worse. However, I think it's just a shitty approach, right? Because I know that he's a very intelligent person. You can tell he's smart. And he explains this whole big, long process. But it's also, it started getting me thinking, and I cannot even begin to re-explain that process. I'm not as intelligent as him. I am not as well read. I know nothing of the human brain. But the way he explained it is like, there's a malfunction in the way that our eyes process the information. Like our eyes to the brain, there's a malfunction in there. And that information is being distorted, right? But that's still kind of fucked up. Even if you like remove it from that context of like what this and the demonic faces and all that, you just remove the fact that, because we've talked about it before, how your vision is just like the interpretation of light. Like, it's almost like there's a computer process behind that. You know what I mean? So it's, for me, it like reopens the door to what the fuck is there that we can't see, that our brain can't process.
How do we know what we're processing is correct?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and so it has me all types of fucked up, even outside of the fact that he's just like talking shit about people. That's like, that statement alone, just the medical side of it still has me confused, like you were saying. And then not to mention, like, and you could easily drag me through the mud for this one, but it's also one of them situations for me in my brain. I'm gonna say that you should always take the advice of your medical professionals. We'll preface it there. But it always, like, even with you've had people who've stepped outside schizophrenia and researched schizophrenia and noticed patterns within schizophrenia that suggest that this might actually not be a mental illness. This might actually be a form of demonic possession. Whereas I know for some people that's a wild thought, but if you expand on that through everything, maybe there's just things that humans, because we like answers, we like to point fingers. So who's to say that we don't almost falsify and point fingers just so we can say we have a solution to this thing that really fucking scares us, even though we don't?
They're just staying ahead. They're staying ahead of the curve.
Right. Or it's that whole like mommy and daddy government come in and, oh, Steve, I know you can't handle this information. So what I'm going to do you a solid here, bud. I'm going to tell you that it's cupcakes and rainbows. You're going to believe me. All the while, it's 100% the opposite.
It's
And
sus.
I know there are people out there that would be like, "Oh, Kyle's crazy. He's this, he's that." Okay, with that in mind, so I'm not denying those allegations, but with that in mind, look at how many times Gen Pop has been deceived by Big Pharma, by the government. You remember back in the day, whenever our scientists came out and was like, "Hey, Steve, I know you're like in charge of like telling everybody that like sugar is bad. Here's some money. Tell them that it's not."
Sugar is good.
And then they're like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, we can definitely do that. We can definitely do that." There was a time when smoking was considered good for you. So there's been a lot of times throughout history where nefarious ass things have been pushed up the chain just cause. Just cause. So it is 100% logical to think that some of these things that we're being told might not actually be true story.
They don't have a very good track record with being honest with Johnny Q Public out here.
That's kind of where I'm at. And I've been chewing on this shit for like 3 days now. My brain, I've been hoping that I could remember all this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I'm getting out because it has been chomping at my brain, man.
Yeah.
And I think at one point didn't they get the what fat is good for you mixed up too?
It changes all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it changes all the time.
It goes back and forth. And it's just, I don't know. That's where my brain goes, man. It just runs in circles all the freaking time.
I'm glad that you brought up the eclipse, personally. Because I just stumbled on this like 3 hours ago.
Okay.
Why NASA will fire 3 rockets at the solar eclipse.
What? Get the fuck out of here. You can't be serious.
Magazine.
They're going to shoot rockets at the eclipse. Let's hear this explanation. Let's go.
Oh, it has some. Oh, dude. Wait till fucking Isaac, what's his name, gets some of this information and starts running with it. I don't even remember his name.
Logically, there's no reason that you should shoot rockets at the eclipse.
No.
I'm just going to say that right now.
Okay. NASA has announced it will fire 3 scientific sounding rockets into the moon's shadow on Monday, April 8th, during the partial solar eclipse across North America.
I'm out.
And
define scientific sounding, please. Let's hear that. I want to know what that means.
I am not a NASA person, a NASA expert,
because I would really like to know what that statement means.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna find out.
Scientific sounding.
I guess we're gonna find out.
Is that just code word for dumb people? Nuclear warhead.
Would it shock you?
Fuck no, not at all. Say
the eclipse opens a giant portal, and like, what's our defense? Try to nuke it closed.
That's definitely gonna be what happens. And you know what? Okay, now there's a reason to fire rockets at the eclipse. However, outside of stuff like that, if it's just literally the moon passing in front of the sun, that's happened time and time again, there's no reason to shoot rockets at it. There's nothing new. Well, there should be no new information that comes from this eclipse versus all the fucking other ones.
You know who has to be on there to save us, right?
Who?
Bruce Willis.
Well, of course.
Bruce Willis. He's got to be on those rockets.
He's already done it.
Yeah.
So of course, not only can he do it again, I guarantee he would do it again.
Yeah, and he'd save us. In what will be a total solar eclipse for a 115-mile wide path through parts of Mexico, 15 U.S. states and Canada, and a partial solar eclipse for the entirety of the Americas, The event will see a sudden drop in sunlight. The next part is titled Serpent Deity. The space agency's project, atmospheric perturbations around the eclipse path,
Not even a real word.
will navigate how that drop in sunlight and temperature will affect the Earth's upper atmosphere. APEP, as they're calling it, is named after the serpent deity from ancient Egyptian mythology, the nemesis of the sun god, deity Ra. So I looked up this here APEP deity that they're naming this after, which is choice naming. According to our good friends at Wikipedia, APEP is the ancient Egyptian deity who embodied darkness and disorder.
Cool. So they're going to blow up the sun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Good, solid choice in name.
Or they're just going to, which I mean, I don't know.
They're checking the atmosphere.
It's like a fucked sense of humor. And I feel like that's a joke that a really smart, dumb person would do.
They're just checking the atmosphere, Kyle.
I highly doubt that.
Don't look at. They're gonna have. They're gonna have hundreds of millions of people staring at the exact same spot in the sky that they're gonna launch rockets at.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
And
fine.
you know, like, I'm not a very scientific person, but I'm just throwing this out there. If I understand correctly, I may not be processing correctly at the moment, but wouldn't it almost be common sense that when the moon blocks out the sun, there is obvious less light and it gets a little bit cooler for a second? Because I mean,
Not if you shoot rockets at it.
oh, okay. Right. I figured I was processing it wrong. I just wasn't sure. I don't know why you would need to test that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at this point, it just, I mean, it's whatever. Sure. Just throw them.
What are we even doing? I don't get it. What are we doing?
We can fire lasers at it.
We do have laser tech now.
Yeah. Look at this spot that we're going to shoot rockets at. It's pretty neat.
Cool.
I thought you'd get a kick out of that. APEP, the god of darkness and disorder.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Yeah, tell that to the government, JJ. And you know what? If I'm going to be completely honest, if I was into the position of, like, if the world came to me and Steve and was like, and I'm just going to be bluntly honest, if the world came to me and Steve were in charge of everything and a portal opened up and they were like, hey, Steve and Kyle, what are we going to do to close this portal? Me and Steve are probably going to look at each other at the exact same time and go, nuke it.
I mean, what other option do we have?
That's where I'm at. We're gonna shoot nukes at it.
We're gonna shoot Bruce Willis into it.
Then
if anybody has saved the world from cataclysms, it's Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Yep. He is the man.
JJ's got a point. Do not nuke it, Godzilla. We don't need interdimensional Godzilla.
Yeah, but we'll still need nukes to fly Godzilla to the portal.
What if we wake up a Godzilla inside the portal?
Then
not an Earth Godzilla.
Then you know what? You and me do something that no leader has ever done. We just go, our bad. That was our bad.
Oh,
we fucked up.
Own up.
We fucked up.
Hold on.
We 100% fucked up. That's our bad, guys. As massive interdimensional Godzilla comes to the portal and proceeds to destroy the planet.
This is a different kind of. In Times Ninja says this is a different kind of rocket. He uses frequency to study how light dimming like that affects the atmosphere. That's what I said. Light, atmosphere, NASA jargon.
Yeah, well, see, all I saw was this is a lie. We are shooting nukes at the moon.
Does NASA have like access to
Dude,
warheads?
they were started by Nazis. Of course they have access to nuclear warheads.
Yeah. Nazi
This
and
episode
NASA have
like 6 fucking times over.
Nazi and NASA have very similar spellings.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. I never thought of it like that.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird times are afoot.
I was just getting ready to say interesting times.
Okay.
Interesting times.
Sounding rockets. Is that where they just fire it directly into your urethra?
It sounds fake.
For those that know, no.
Sounding rockets. Just listen to yourself say that out loud. Sounding rockets. It's just fake.
So when they're launching it, they have massive speakers.
Oh, so are we talking about the whistlers you can buy? You know, you light the bottle rockets, they go whistle away. That's probably what it really is. But those things still explode. So just saying.
What does this sound like? What else? What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Back to the bridge. I saw somebody mentioned it. I'm pretty sure it was Tinfoil Tales talking about how Russia's kind of leaning toward the U.S. and the U.K. and Ukraine all being involved in the attack.
Yeah.
And that the bridge could have been retaliation for that. I want the Holocult to keep an eye out on the East Coast. If they see any kind of like sus military movements, that just keep an eye out, because that would be.
I'm gonna deviate again because now my brain is putting it together. I just read what End Times put. That makes more sense. We're gonna send stuff up there to open a portal for Pepe Le Pew to get him over here. That actually makes sense.
You're gonna have, like I said, you're gonna have hundreds of millions of people looking at it.
Yeah, so the portal's not open. We're gonna send stuff up there to open it, because we're gonna send the giant versions of Whistler bottle rockets, and they're gonna create enough frequency and stuff, do smart people stuff, and that's gonna open a portal while everybody's watching, which is gonna annihilate their psyche.
Joke's on them. Mine's already annihilated.
Right. And then from there, they're going to be able to see aliens and or demons.
Yeah.
Twist totality might be more if they open Death Portal.
Yeah, it's going to be a scene from fucking Terminator 2 where everybody just catches on fire.
Sucks. I'm not trying to have that happen.
I saw a meme where they just stand at the fence and it's just a burning skull. It says, "Me watching the eclipse on April 8th."
That sucks. I'm not trying to have that happen. I don't want to be Sarah Connor. We're supposed to survive that.
Yeah. It's going to be fine. I mean, think about how many end-time Armageddon cataclysms we've already survived.
At least 6.
Y2K, 2012.
Yeah.
Large Hadron. Pandemic.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a couple more.
They've been that's rolling. Unless the world did end in all those. And we're just in quantum immortality. Every time the world ends, we just kind of start somewhere else.
That's not so bad, except for the fact that normal life sucks.
I saw a theory that every time they fire off the Large Hadron, that we shift timelines because we're running from something that's also shifting timelines, chasing us through all.
That's cool theory.
Yeah,
I like
that sucks.
I like that
I
theory.
hope that some bitch don't break down.
Yeah, that's true. But sometimes you got to stand 10 toes down, man. Got to get with it.
Did we survive
Can't be scared
2012?
all your life.
I don't know if we did or not. Shit got a lot weirder after 2012. Mandela effect started after 2012.
For sure.
Speaking of demons.
Okay.
Couple things. So 2 night shifts ago, we talked about our encounter with old Crazy Legs, right?
Yep.
And you look him up, and he is the I don't know what to call it. Demon, whatever. Familiars is what it said. Familiars. So I was told keep an eye out for animal familiars. So I'm like, okay, bet. Nothing crazy happening, right? I get up to go to work. What was it? Last week? Was it last week? This week?
It was
I can't
Monday.
remember.
No, it's Monday. I
4
was
o'clock
home
in the morning.
I think I rained out that day.
4 o'clock in the goddamn morning. Going to get my monster out of the refrigerator. What is crawling around my kitchen floor? A crawdad. A big motherfucker too, like 2.5, 3 inches long.
The picture. I got photographic evidence.
Crawling around my living room floor. Never, ever. I don't care about water tables. I don't care about crawdad fucking migration patterns. Never have I ever had one inside my house.
Do crawdads have migration patterns?
No. Yeah, it was still wet.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
I don't live underwater. I don't live in a swamp. I don't live in a creek.
They live in creeks.
I don't give a shit. They need to stay there then.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Familiars are friendly. Well, now he's friendlily outside.
Oh, why didn't you put him in the turtle tank?
'Cause I wasn't.
You didn't think about it, did you?
No,
that just dawned on you. You're like, shit, I should have definitely put it in the turtle tank.
No, because it pissed me off.
Well, what if it would have been your friend?
It came from a demon.
Maybe. And then the very next day, I had a bird stuck in my garage.
That's true.
But it wasn't just stuck in my garage. It was actually stuck in between the garage window and the blind. I don't even know how the fuck that happened.
I don't know, bro.
And furthermore, I was out in the garage at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning having a smoke, and then I went back inside. I don't even think I opened any of the doors in my garage. Didn't notice any bird in there. And then I go out the next morning at like 6:30 in the morning, and there's a bird flapping like crazy stuck in between the damn window and the blind. It was a cheap, stupid little blind too. It could have just flown right through it. It didn't.
No, because Crazy Legs sent it.
Well,
I'm telling you, I might be reaching.
Shitty bird because it got stuck.
I might be reaching for the Crazy Legs story.
It was like one of those little sparrow type birds. It wasn't nothing gnarly or cool. Like, it would have been cool if it was like a hawk or something.
Like, I might be reaching for all the Crazy Leg puzzle pieces, but you start putting them motherfuckers together.
It's weird.
That's weird.
It's weird. Not to mention, I've been seeing new things. So there's that. But I keep chalking it up to
stop that.
In between sleep and not. And
you gotta stop chalking.
And it's probably my stupid part of my brain malfunctioning the data that comes from my eyeballs into my brain. That's probably what it is. Because that guy's obviously right.
So you're seeing bird demons?
No, I don't think so. I saw a weird face. And then I could have swore, man. Could have freaking swore the other morning. Would have been Tuesday morning. I think it was Tuesday morning before I left the house. Before I leave the house, if my wife's not working from home and I'm the last one here, I have this weird OCD shit about me that I have to go through the house and make sure everything is off. Because there's been a couple times, not to call my wife out, but she's left the hair straightener on before I left the house. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And then I'll walk in my son's room and he'll have his TV and his light still on. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn that off. Sometimes my back is a straight mess. So I'll have a heating pad next to me. I'll make sure that's off. So I'm going through and I make sure all the doors are locked. Sometimes I even drive around the neighborhood like twice to make sure I shut my fucking garage door. I get so OCD about shit. I would literally shut my garage door, watch it shut. I'll drive away and go, did my garage door shut? And I'll turn back around. So fucking weird. But anyways, I'm making my rounds through the house and I didn't see it per se, but it was one of them, like I walked into the bedroom, made sure everything was good. There's no hidden fucking wax warmer on that my wife put somewhere because she loves those things. And I could have swore I saw something flip my heating pad. Like I saw something move on my bed.
That's weird.
Yeah, like so much so that I walked over there and lifted the covers thinking I'm going to see a mouse or something.
That's weird.
And there was nothing there. So I don't fucking know.
I'm telling you.
I know I've been seeing more shit than normal. And it's weird. No, I don't. I'm not worried about it at all. Like it doesn't scare me at all.
No,
It's
I mean,
bizarre.
you did put out a warning when we agreed to that. Did I know that I have to come to terms with I'm probably being stalked by an ancient deity? No, but we're here now.
Yeah, that's a good point, Steve. We didn't read the fine print. And
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I'm here
too.
for it.
I was literally talking to.
They can get it too.
I was talking to a friend on.
Be careful what you say.
On Instagram today, and we were chatting about that type of stuff and how, like, this is because this person's noticing it too. Because they just started a podcast and they're kind of going down their journey and they're starting to notice like more and more things. And I'm like, that ain't no shit. That's facts. Always read the fine print.
That is the comment
Always
of
read
the
the fine
decade.
print. Right. But and personally, I'll be 100% honest with you. I hate talking anymore. Now that we are where we are, I hate talking about my personal experiences. Because I feel like in my head, if I talk about them, there are people out there that are going, he's just making it up for clout. And that's not the case at all.
That too.
I don't like it. And that's why I refrain a lot from telling everybody what I experience. Because I don't want that thought process to be out there. And with that, I have lost my train of thought. I sidetracked myself.
You were talking to Fresh Podcaster on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they were talking about how they're noticing things. And I'm like, in the beginning, because I think they have kind of a negative attachment. And I was like, in the beginning, I was really worried about some of that stuff. Like me and Steve have always delved into this. We've always been fascinated with it. Hell, sometimes we did really stupid shit, not realizing the repercussions. Yeah, we still do. At least we're a little more aware of the repercussions at this point in our life. But yeah, that's definitely true. I'm like, but here's the weird thing. In the beginning, I was really scared. And the more I started going through this, the less and less it affects me. Really bizarre. Really, really bizarre.
The less and less the
The weird
like
things like seeing weird shit bothers me. It doesn't bother me as much anymore. I think I'd still be scared as fuck if I saw an alien or something like that extreme. But like the little movement from the corner of my eye or even just seeing whatever flip over on my bed or hearing the bean drop, I'm just like, whatever. Like it doesn't bother me.
we're getting accustomed to it.
Probably. I like to think that I don't, it's gonna sound fucking crazy. I don't feel that whatever is around me is evil. And really think about the gravity of what I just said. Because I mean that. Like there's a weird, and it kind of sounds fucking cheesy, but there's like a weird feeling I get inside me, like deep in my core of certain situations. And that's how I dictate some of these situations. And I could be way the fuck off. Way the fuck off. I'm not gonna not acknowledge that fact. But there is like it's like a little warning system or something all the way deep down inside. Like, cause some people like tell me like really bad news, like they're going to the doctor to be checked for this, and I won't be scared. You know, in my head, it's whatever inside me is like, it's fine. Like they're gonna be fine. And every single time they've been fine. I've never had it the opposite way where I've been like, they're gonna be fine, and then they come back with like death news. Right. But I don't know. It's a really weird, bizarre feeling that I don't understand and I don't know. But it's, believe it or not, it's the first time I've actually ever even told anybody about it. That's kind of how I dictate a lot of my life and my experiences is through that system, whatever the fuck it is. I'm sure somebody listening is gonna be like, "It's this, you idiot," and I'm gonna be like, "I don't know what to do."
But we have had specific things that I feel like have given off has probably set that off in you. Like
Oh yeah.
When Egress dropped the coordinates.
Oh, that was one of them times that I was scared as fuck. I will not,
Yeah.
you know, to take that away. No, that was terrifying.
Whenever we were watching
Demon
the
dude.
demonologist guy and he was
Fuck yeah.
talking about like whenever we that was essentially the first time we were
Dude,
introduced to
that's
Crazy
definitely
Lady.
the system coming out in me where that's when I was like, bro, okay, we're done. We need to, this is getting too fucking weird. I ain't about this shit.
Every video we scrolled to, like the words he was saying was like verbatim what me and Kyle were just talking about. That had nothing to do with
Weird.
whatever the fuck was going on. You just switch it, and it was almost like he was like mimicking what we said.
It was fucking weird. Like it was really creepy. It gives me goosebumps now just thinking about it. It's fucking creepy. It was literally like he was listening to the conversation we were having, even though he posted those videos months before we were having this conversation.
Yeah,
Strangest fucking shit ever. So crazy.
it was weird. That one stands out. I remember Egress being fucked.
That one creeped me out. Yeah, that one creeped me out.
Demonologist guy. Demonologist probably isn't even the right word. Right. That was weird.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Even the weird feeling.
Another one I got that was weird was when I was writing Bledsoe. I got weirded out during that one when I was researching that.
Yeah. The feeling that I got at X wasn't as extreme as those two, but it was off kilter enough to make me like note it.
Yeah. It's a weird, man. It's a weird feeling too. I'm telling you, like, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, please be like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But it's just a weird feeling, like all the way deep down in your core. It's the most bizarre shit ever. Fucking weird. I can't,
Uh,
I seriously cannot fucking explain it.
Whenever I caught
Bill,
whatever it
that
was,
was weird. That was a weird one.
the what
Taco
Taco
Bell,
Bell
dude.
flavor, I
Yeah,
didn't
Taco
get.
Bell.
I don't know that I got a negative vibe from that though.
Oh, I didn't at all. No, not at all.
It was weird. It was hella out of pocket. But whenever I saw the thing out of the corner of my eye when we were recording, move through the door, like it was solid enough that I thought it was Sarah, and there was no one. Uh, that that gave me a bad feeling. And like I said, I see weird shit in my house all the time, but it's just kind of
Right.
it's like second nature.
Yeah.
But that was weird. I don't. Yeah, that's a good. Especially like we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
5, yeah, it's
Way
probably
longer
over 5
than
years now.
way longer than our brains want to acknowledge.
We may have missed our 5-year
Probably.
go to. I think it's close.
Probably.
I think it's close. But it's yeah, we're gonna call it 5 years. And those are the only ones that really
Yeah.
stuck out with me.
But there's
Taco
certain,
Bell
like, you have that, and then you can, like, I will have that pop up in regular life too. There'll be people we meet where I'm kind of like, not so sure I'm sold on this situation,
yeah.
or
That
like I
trick or
said,
treat.
I'll get bad news from people, and I'll get that feeling in my core where I'm like, no, it's all gonna be gravy.
The
Like I was
fan
talking to, huh?
I was gonna say the miscellaneous trick or treater. That gave me bad vibes, and I wasn't even
Yeah,
there.
for sure. Exactly. Exactly. Like, it's just weird little situations that maybe that's where the phrase "trust your gut" comes from. Something like that. You know,
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's something to be said for intuition.
it's weird, man.
It's better to
It's really
go off
fun.
of it and be wrong than don't go off of it and be really wrong.
That's where I'm at. I'd rather be called crazy than have something terrible happen.
Oh, 312 was our 5-year. Happy 5-year, everyone. A little late,
Yay.
but we're also here
Just a
now.
little bit. That is weird that was our 5-year. I'm bad with dates though, so don't expect me to remember that stuff.
In some ways, it feels every bit of 5 years, but in other ways, it doesn't feel like it at all.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know what I
when
mean?
we're outside of this right here, these moments, when we're writing fucking college essays every week,
And it's a fucking
it feels like
slog
5 years.
and a grind all the time.
Feels like 5 years. But when we're in this moment, it doesn't feel like any time at all.
No, no. That's weird. I did not to. We're gonna keep on this, but since we were talking demons, I did see an interesting little tidbit that'll get everybody's wheels a turning. So there's a new movie coming out called Late Night with the Devil.
Oh,
I've seen,
I saw this
yeah,
advertised. It looks
it's
fucked.
so it dropped Sunday.
Oh,
Guess
did
what
it?
guess what it made at the domestic box office according to Variety magazine?
666 million.
$666,666.
That was close. In the 666 mark. You think that's honest?
I don't know. It
Or you
might
think
just
they're
be
fucking
good
around?
marketing.
Yeah.
It might just
I
be
kind
good
of feel like
marketing.
it could be fucking around.
That's just what it said on the opening day. Twiz.
Yeah.
I took a screenshot of it for people like, where's the receipts? 666.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting. But maybe Maybe we should just put the whole Crazy Leg story together and put it out there because
I think we should. I think it would be a good one to go down south if we want to go down south.
Why don't
Probably
just
the
do an
best.
episode on it? Do an
We can do
episode,
that
drop
too.
it, get all of our information in order, put it out there because it's a fucking it's
I'm
weird.
with
It's
it.
been going
Whether
on
we
for
do
a
it
hot.
ourselves or we go south or we do whatever we want to do with it. I think it's worthy of an episode. 100%.
Yeah.
Without question, I think it's worth an episode. I actually
Makes
got
you-
it's funny you kind of bring that up because I have a new idea for a new segment we can do sometimes. My brain's always spinning 100 miles an hour.
called Is It a Demon?
Close.
Hmm.
I planned on calling it something like The Duel.
Dueling with the Demons.
Close. I'm not going to give it away
Jousting.
because I know there are people out there that fucking rip our shit.
We're
I'm not going to give it away.
gonna make up a fake name.
What? That's why I haven't given the title to my other idea.
It's gonna be called Will Holosky Drink This? And we're just gonna pick stuff out of my refrigerator. So
Ooh.
anyone who thinks that's a good idea, feel free. Not my refrigerator personally, but see, that was Jedi mind trick.
Yeah. Mind tricks suck.
Yeah. Yes.
They definitely suck.
Crickets.
I don't have much else to conversate about. I do have. I might do a PSA at the end. Got some things I want to talk about.
Ooh.
But before, I think, what do you think, Steve? Open the phone lines for a little bit. We haven't done that in a minute.
Yeah, sometimes we
open a little
do.
earlier, but we kind of got carried away.
We do that.
Yeah, it's been fun though. Here, the past couple ones have been really fun. I've been enjoying just kind of going hard in the paint. What was I gonna say? Brain fart.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, my
We should
brain's
make
going
there has to be a
fast.
specific amount of likes hit before we open the lines.
I do want to open the lines though. We haven't done that in a hot minute, and it's funny too because this is like we'll open the line sometimes and nobody fucking calls, and then we're 100% unprepared for that, and so then we have to go off the cuff.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know, Twiz. I don't know. Was it a good message, or were you just calling in and saying you suck? And keep in mind, the holophone is now open.
Good call.
It's now open. But you don't have to call just to tell us a story. You can call and have a comment on something, have a conversation, whatever it is. We're here for it. And we have a call right now. So here we go. Hey, welcome to the Holosky Podcast. What's going on?
Yo.
Nice.
Hey.
What's up?
So, this story takes place in the bathroom. And whenever I opened the door for it or walked in, I made my I squint my eyes a little bit, and I saw a ghost in the bathroom, and it was sitting there, and it wasn't moving. And still, whenever I came up to it, it still did not move.
What did the ghost look like?
So whenever I saw it, it was like a black figure. So you really couldn't like describe it.
Did it
So
have
just
like
a silhouette of a person, essentially?
Yes. But it just wouldn't move no matter what.
That's weird.
Interesting.
And the thing is, it literally was just in there, and it, like, no matter what, it just would not leave the bathroom.
That's so weird. I don't understand why it had no reaction to you. It was like it wanted you to see it.
And you know what?
What's that?
And it was only something I did with my eyes that made it visible. And other than that, if I made my eyes wider, it'd be impossible to see it.
Oh, that's
weird.
interesting too. Have you seen it anywhere else outside of the bathroom?
Well, you know what? I think that could maybe be the same ghost that would have been looking at me in the window, and the one at the sleepover.
That's what I was wondering. If possibly it could be the same entity.
But
Very
then,
interesting.
the creepy thing is that I've heard before that there's more than one. So it could be that they all are trying to do this random thing to try and make us scared.
Did you feel scared when you seen the one in the bathroom?
Whenever I saw that one in the bathroom, I was like, nope, I'm not going to just wait that out, because like I don't think the toilet seat was even up, and I think it just was literally sitting there.
That's weird.
And you know what?
What?
Like, I think it's only like anywhere but the living room, because once we go in the living room, every ghost you really cannot see, or like here, but like you'd be able to see them like not in the living room.
That's interesting.
So it's like if the living room was like a force field of energy
that keeps the ghosts out.
Yeah, it's weird because like every time I'd experience a ghost stuff, like there would be like I'd say the only time I've ever had a ghost experience in the living room was like once. So it'd be rare for some reason.
That is weird.
Well, that'd be my new bedroom. It wouldn't be the living room anymore. Because I'm not trying to have a ton of ghost experiences all the time. Like
just move into the living room.
You know what? Like we don't even like do like ghost hunts in the house. It just like random times creepy stuff will happen. And then even if we are doing ghost hunts in the house, a lot of times they are kind of ending up being funny, but a lot of other times they do it randomly, making it kind of more scary for it to happen.
Yeah, they say it's not very advisable to do ghost hunts in your own house unless you're that comfortable with it, which it sounds like you are relatively comfortable with seeing these types of things.
Well, I'd be kind of. I mean, I'm still scared to see them sometimes because, like, I mean, it's just a surprise to see one.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But then, like, it's like, then you're knowing that, like, you're gonna be in the haunted house for years.
Yeah, I hear that that's a big reason why they advise people not to ghost hunt in your own home, because you don't really have anywhere else to go if things get out of control.
And then, even if they do, the only scary part would be if they followed you to your other house. But if they don't, then I guess you'd be probably going to have to expect them soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, I think I would be getting every one of them ghosts out of my house if at all possible, and then trying to. It wouldn't be very fun to move and have them follow you.
Yeah, but then you know what?
What's that?
And then like there's just that one thing where you're like, if you like have a pet, and there's that one thing where if that pet dies but you bury it in like your side back or front yard, it's like they're probably going to stay at the exact same house if they're going to become a ghost.
Yeah. That is
Fair
true.
enough.
But then you know what? Then they're going to act like how they did before whenever they were alive, but then like they're going to act more nice.
Great, Steve. That means whenever I come over and Frank's not there anymore, I'm gonna get tackled by Ghost Frank.
She does like you on this realm.
That's going to be terrifying because I'm going to think it's a demonic attack and it's just going to be Frank running in circles, being super stoked, and then knocking me over.
But then, like, what I'm saying is, like, if the pet activity, like, if, like, the pet could be really obnoxious, but then again, they could just be kind of fine.
So they could go around the house ghost peeing on everything.
Well, I'm not saying that.
I know, I'm messing with you. That's what obnoxious dogs do. They go around and they pee on everything. But I get what you're saying. It might be a little bit of a nuisance in a little ghost form.
So if it, like, I'm saying, like, if the pet, whenever it's like alive and it like steals the food from your plate, I mean, you might not end up actually like from their ghost form, not actually having to deal with that, because they're probably not going to do that. They're probably going to be just somewhere else. What? Oh, okay. But that, so bye. I
Say what?
okay. Bye.
Oh,
All right,
see ya.
see you, buddy.
Thank you for calling in.
All right.
All right. The youngest ghost hunter in the Hollow Nation.
Yes.
It's always
Out there
interesting.
continuously seeing.
It's interesting to get the perspective from somebody that's young, just to see how their
Definitely.
brain processes it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know when my kids talk about it, it's a fine line where sometimes you get creeped out and other times you're like, all right, you got to be pulling my leg.
Yeah.
Even though they might not be, but sometimes it feels like they are definitely pulling your leg.
Your daughter told me she talked to a chicken monster in the vent.
I know, and I hope that was just her imagination. Because I'm not trying to be living with no chicken monster.
It's creepy.
Chicken monsters are dumb.
They are dumb.
I will kick a chicken monster.
I'm here for it. Tag me in.
Well, you better be. I need somebody to get my back when I'm fighting all these weird ass things. Because odds are, Steve, we're going to lose.
Yeah, it's fine.
We don't have very good odds against ethereal beings.
Yeah, when I saw that, not to change the subject or anything, but to circle back, when I saw that APEP stuff talking about being the arch nemesis of Raw, I definitely thought of all the things going on with our friend JJ. So that's interesting.
Speaking of, JJ, you ever heard of anybody seeing I'm asking for a friend. Seeing how did I describe that the other night, Steve? Like a bronze mask, hollow eyes, cut out eyes.
Yeah. Like a Greek bronze featureless mask.
Yeah, that's
like
what
just
the
with
Greek.
the eyes.
Yeah, and real quick, that's definitely what is going to happen.
Let's go.
Hey, welcome to Night Shift. What's going on?
Yo,
you know who this is.
What's up?
I figure if you're going to be talking about a whole bunch of weird stuff with old gods and the serpent in the sky, let me call.
Let's do it.
Perfect.
All right. So the serpent in the sky part that you were talking about with the NASA thing.
NASA.
Why they got to name it that? Like, why are we doing this? Are we all trying to bring about the end of the world?
Yeah.
Because every major religion right now is, other than the Buddhists and the Hindus, are basically trying to usher in the end of the world. I'm very unclear why everyone wants to like promote this process.
Well, it's probably because everybody's just tired of the shenanigans, or they're bored. Might be bored.
True, but I mean, as you guys are seeing, your third eye's opening. The veil's already down. You've been having experiences even before I got involved, and things are ramping up. And the eclipse, for sure, which is what I've been talking about. I did 7 hours of episodes on it. It's opening up a portal. Like, things are coming through, and we're not going to be how we are right now any sooner. I can't see the chat, by the way, because I decided to walk outside. But why are we throwing rockets in space during a solar eclipse? Like, what's going on?
It's sus.
Like Ninja said, they're either opening a portal or they're shooting nukes at the portal.
When I saw what they named that, I sent that immediately to you, JJ. When I saw what they were naming.
I know.
I said,
and I looked at it and I was like, what?
Yeah.
There's some extreme sausage happening right now. John, that's for you.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird.
It's 100% weird. It's not advisable at all whatsoever.
Nope.
The question is, are they going to be able to open a portal that we can see with our eyes?
Well,
but the thing is that the portal is opening whether anyone wants it to or not.
I'm not saying that I don't.
I mean, I'm now wondering if they're doing this rocket stuff because they've actually figured it out and they think that's going to actually prevent something from merging or coming through. That's why I'm sus.
Maybe.
Or, I mean, what better? Like, you can't get any better media coverage than having literally millions of people looking at the exact same spot in the sky. If you want to pull some shit, that's the time to do it because you have everyone's attention. At least on our side of the world.
True. And typically anything that happens in America is being broadcasted worldwide anyway, right? Because everyone has their eyes on us.
It's weird.
It's definitely weird. I mean, is anybody opposed to the portal going full send, though?
I'm not, just because at this point I'm like, I'd rather just have it over and just let the merge happen and everyone figure out their new way of life. Because all this in between stuff, people are still struggling to try and figure it out. And you've got all these old beliefs that are starting to see the light, and a lot of people who are like in the death throes of hanging on. And it's wild.
Speaking of that, I did see something the other day that, and I think it's kind of general consensus. I would like for the Holocult to chime in here in the chat. I was reading something where a lot of people here in the past, I don't know, month have been feeling really shitty, like extremely tired, a little sick, like they can't shake it. And I saw that people were claiming that this is essentially because of everything that's going on. It is a part of you that is dying, entering into this new age, whatever we're going into.
So I'm going to be really, really careful how I word what I'm about to say, because I know obviously we're on YouTube and I don't want to get you kicked off. But I had been researching for a long time because I've always been low in iron. And I was researching, why am I low in iron? Like, it doesn't make sense. And then I started seeing an uptick of a whole bunch of people I knew who are kind of like me, who are also low in iron. And it's very rare for males to be low in iron. Okay? Male anemia does exist, but it's rare. And these were males who ate meat, so it kind of didn't make sense. And so I started doing some more research, found Keel's research. People who have paranormal experiences typically are low in iron and magnesium. Okay, that dovetails into a lot of this. I started thinking about it. Why would that be? Okay, because iron is dense. And if you're high in iron, you're more dense, right? So therefore, it's harder for you to reach through. And things of a lesser density aren't really trying to communicate with you because you're too dense to get through. So then I started thinking, well, this whole thing that's happened like the past 4 years, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Wouldn't that be interesting if it changed our bodies, right? Because all these people like me who have this thing that just kind of hangs on. And wouldn't you know, a week later, I get a medical journal brand new article out that they have now proven people who have had the thing going around the last 4 years, their molecular structure has changed and they're no longer able to uptake iron the normal way. So now you have a huge amount of the populace who is no longer able to retain iron. Isn't that wonderful for the merge that's coming and the convergence?
That is weird.
That's weird.
I've noticed a lot of people are having kidney problems here too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
A lot of people around me have been having issues with their kidneys.
And some of that can do with chemical factors and stuff in the water too. But the tiredness that you've been talking about, I mean, we are getting pummeled with solar flares. This past weekend, we had one of the biggest ones we've had since 2003, I think it was. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Friday, I was loopy. Saturday, I was trying to tell my mom something, and I felt like that guy looking at the poster board with all the wires going to different stuff. Like, I felt absolutely insane trying to explain like this very simple concept to my mom. And once I realized it was a G4 magnetic storm, I was like, holy moly. Like, and USA took a direct hit. And people don't realize that this is the biggest solar storm that we've had since 2003. And that happening that close to an eclipse. And the other thing that's really weird, like everyone kind of hates Mondays, right? That's just kind of a given. So the lunar eclipse happens on a Monday. The solar eclipse happens on a Monday. Mercury goes retrograde on a Monday. Like all this stuff happens on a Monday, literally since last Monday for the next month. Every Monday, there's some major astrological shift.
That's weird. That doesn't seem like coincidental.
It's a little rude, but
Yeah. Terrible way to start the week off.
yeah, I mean, so the serpent in the sky thing, I won't keep you guys forever, I'm sorry, but the
No, you're
serpent in
good.
the sky thing is super sus. It's definitely bringing up a lot of the, Ragnarok and the Norse, stories. And I actually found out recently I was having this man show up, and it was not a typical spirit. It was very vivid, and I could not figure out what it was, in a green suit. And then it started coming in my dreams. And I actually woke up one morning saying this weird word over and over. And I looked up the word, and it was go away in German. And I was like, that's weird, because I actually don't know that phrase in German. And come to find out, guess who typically is represented as wearing a green suit? Loki.
That's true.
And who was Loki's baby and pet? The big old serpent. And I'm not even going to attempt to say that name because it's just got a lot of G's and J's in it. So like, I'm 2 J's, that's enough.
I feel that.
But yeah, I just want to call in and give you guys that. We've got the Amun-Ra connection. We've got all these old gods. I started actually tracking with people who I communicate with. And right now we are at 23 different deities that have shown up to
That's
different
what I was
people.
just gonna ask. I'm like, do you think this is a like conglomeration of?
It is. I mean, it's, and these are like heavy hitter old ones. These aren't just, your lightweight ones you've never heard about. These are like, your big ones from all different origins. And, blue skin all the way through all the other colors of the rainbow. But it's the one that's showing up the most, and it's the only one that I'm not quite 100% sure what it is. So I'd love the chat to blow up and people think about it. Feel free to message me if you figure it out. But these tall cloaked figures, and you had a listener experience a couple weeks ago where the person had seen these tall cloaked figures standing on their street. Remember the one where like the kid had come from the graveyard?
Yeah.
And so that week, before I heard that listener experience, I had happened on 3 other random stories or things I was listening to or were sent to me in which there were tall cloaked figures. And then that one was the 4th. And usually it's like 3 or 4 times something has to kind of hit me in order for me to take a look at it. And since then, I started actually tracking it. And right now I'm up to 19 people who have either seen them or they've come in dreams. And no one knows exactly what they are. They're not necessarily making sense, but
well, that'll make, we can add probably 2 more to that list because you got Ghost Hunter Dave. That's seen essentially a tall cloaked being that he dubs the Watcher.
That watches the Proclaim portal in Cemetery X.
And then you have in the very beginning when we started this, Steve, my sister-in-law called in with seeing tall cloaked beings in a graveyard.
The old cemetery in Alton. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a group of them.
So we're at 21 now.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out because there's not like a set number of them. It's not like they come in pairs or even numbers. the way that they're presenting is it's usually a group of anywhere from like 5 on up, and you're not able to see a face or anything. They're just tall, they're cloaked, and they just watch.
That gives me cold chills.
Super creepy, huh?
Yeah.
What
I love you guys. Go have fun. Oh, you can still talk to me if you want.
I'm curious, what theory do you have that all of these heavy hitters are coming together, making themselves known? Like, do you even want to speculate a reason?
I mean, at this point, we're close enough, so why not? I mean, like I said, I had recorded 7 hours on this on my advanced episodes, and I was told in August that I needed to record these and I needed to have them out by early March so that people had time to listen to them and assimilate the information before April. And so this is even before I truly understood the eclipse was happening in April. And it kept getting like April, April, April. So I started to get worried, thinking like, okay, maybe something's going to happen to me, right? In April. And then the eclipse thing all blew up and all the stuff going on with that. So, I mean, to break it down as easy as I can, we're going through a merge and a convergence. The veil's been gone for almost 2 years now. And we have things that are peeping through. And I think the reason why the heavy hitters are making themselves known is simply because they're trying to warn people and like get them accustomed and acquainted so that they can break out of their old paradigms and belief systems so that it's not so much of a jolt to them when this stuff actually happens and comes through. Because when it does, a lot of old belief systems that people are clinging to or that they think they understand are going to be completely and utterly broken down. And that is going to cause some people to go into a system of shell shock unlike anything the world has seen. I mean, people are concerned about aliens coming down and saying, "We made you," like that would rock the world. Think about if these things come down and say, "Yeah, we made you, but we're also the same as you and a little bit different. And yet we've been existing with you the entire time. We didn't go anywhere."
It definitely fuck up a lot of minds.
Yeah.
Bruh.
And that's why I'm glad I vibe the way that I do. Because I don't think it's really going to be too much of a shell shock for me.
No, you guys seem to take everything,
Irresponsibly.
She wasn't going to say it, but
I mean, I'm going to let you say it. But, I think for the most part, the community that listens to you, everyone's open enough-ish to the point where some people are expecting it. Other people, I think, are going to have a hard time with it. But, a lot of people are going to have a lot of things upset and changed. I mean, you guys alone with, what you call Mr. Crazy Legs, when I started researching on him and realizing what he actually represents, he was only called a demon because he was a god from another civilization. And the current religion basically was like, anything that's not with this gets automatically lumped into a demon.
But if you read what his description doesn't sound that nefarious.
No, he sends familiars. He teaches people how to heal.
Leaves crawdads in my kitchen.
The crawdad was weird, especially because it was wet. And
telling me.
Just, hanging out. And then, Kyle, you guys seem to always have things happen in tandem. So, like, if something happens to one of you, I pretty much always know it's going to happen to the other pretty soon. And then, Kyle, you ending up having a sparrow caught in between the blind and the window.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I have a bird. That is very difficult for them to do, especially, like, depending on the blinds that you have.
I don't even know how they get in my garage. I have looked so many times, and you'd be surprised at how many times I go out there in the morning and there's a fucking bird in my garage.
Okay, well, you might need some exclusion work done. But
There's literally no, unless they somehow, like every once in a while, I go out to the garage to have a smoke. I don't always go outside. Sometimes I'll open the back door, walk outside, but I don't leave the outside door. I stay right there. So unless it's able to just sneak right past me, which is not very logical, then I don't know how they get in. Garage door shut. There's no way anything gets in my garage. I don't understand how it happens.
You're gonna see how inept I am at construction, but what are those little pokey holes that we have? For like ventilation, they go on the side of the house, and you're supposed to have them covered with wire mesh.
I don't know. Like
Okay,
like the dryer exhaust?
hold on. I'll ask my husband. Babe, what are the little pokey hole things that we have on the side of the house that you exclude to keep rats out? I love how he just says, I have no clue. Anyway, ventilation shafts or whatever they're called.
Right.
So, I mean, unless you have those in your garage, which is abnormal, because normally those go like to an attic or a crawl space for ventilation purposes. Not really understanding how the birds are getting in.
Yeah,
but it's always a gift when a bird comes in, just so you know.
And I'm seeing like the soffit and everything else. But the thing is, with my garage, the ceiling is plywooded across, and then I have a pull down door it's pull down door with the ladder inside of it. But that son of a bitch is screwed shut because it's actually broke and it hangs down. So I screwed the thing shut. So there's no openings for it to get through. At least that I've found so far. I've looked everywhere. I can't find anything. Not saying it's not possible, but it is weird nevertheless.
It is weird. And having a bird in your home or in your garage is actually a good omen.
Well, they're annoying.
Well, I mean, and it's also sad because they're scared, right?
But yeah, they fly around and they poop a lot.
Well, yeah, I have a bird. My whole house is covered in poop. It's how we live. But
mine's covered in crawdads.
Animals, exactly. What crawdads at that? Which is much more strange than just a random crawdad.
You're telling me.
My head around that one.
Well, they need to watch it because one time a giant moth came in my garage and I gave him a knuckle sandwich. He flew at my face. He flew at my face and got the smoke.
Kyle out here punching familiars.
I warned him once. I said, you fly near my face again, you're going to get jacked. And then it flew near my face and he got punched in the head.
I'm going to say something to you, Kyle.
You're
like
fucked.
Your shine.
Well, I hope that's the case. And it's not what I just said. You're fucked.
So
it moves to a flame. They see your light.
Well, Mothman's flying outside your house.
Yeah. Oh, no, you just punched my familiar.
Speaking of Mothman, it is very, very interesting that a couple days before the whole bridge thing happened, myself and a couple other people had Mothman on the brain, like super random out of nowhere. And I feel like that weird little bridge fire that happened in Ohio on the same day, it kind of gave me like Mothman vibes, like almost like it was a reminder, like, hey, this is just a reminder, harbinger of things to happen.
I'll be honest, this is definitely the first thing I thought whenever I heard the bridge went down.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. And on that note, everyone should just plan, make sure you guys have water and more water. If you can take water from your tap and put it in some bottles, that would be a good thing to do when you're at the store. If water's cheap, keep a little bit of water stored because they've hacked everything else. Water's next.
I've seen warnings for
it. Literally have 25 birds right now just took off flying. So that's fun. Yeah. But yeah, the old ones are coming back.
Cool.
And they're saying hi before they get here. So
as long as they're cool. I don't have a problem as long as they're cool. If you're cool, we can coexist. I have no problem with that at all.
They can come on the show. We'll talk about
you go flying by my face. You're gonna catch these hands. It's going to happen.
Be nice to the moths, Kyle.
I warned him. I gave him fair warning. I said, you fly at my face again, you're going to get punched.
I just immediately got pulled into a fist fight with old gods by proxy. Great.
Yeah.
Happens.
Yeah. You guys have a tendency to do that, by the way. So
Yeah.
have fun. I warned you.
Yeah, it happens.
Love you guys. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Have a wonderful night.
You as well.
All right, bye.
See ya.
See you, JJ. Yeah. Yeah.
Always
Now I gotta fight old. Then you know that's fine. Whatever.
Bro, like I said, if they're cool, then we have a problem. They can come on the show.
Makes you wonder how like the regular public would react if this happens and it is a noticeable event, right?
Hmm?
Something completely out of pocket. How are normal people going to respond
To like a asinine event.
to like something just like unexpected? Say everybody's looking at the eclipse and something, there is a portal and something crawls through it. Something like,
Oh, people are gonna fucking freak out.
yeah, it's gonna be pandemonium.
It's gonna be gnarly.
Pandemonium.
Yeah, it's gonna make World War III look like child's play. And World War III hasn't even full scaled yet. But I bet it would still make it look pale in comparison. Because that isn't supposed to happen. Bottom line, that's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to see portals open up and things crawling out of it. Even if they are, it could be the most respectful and nicest thing ever. People are still going to freak out.
Yeah, that was kind of where I'm at. Like you're just not. A lot of people aren't ready. They aren't ready, and they're literally priming the fact to have everybody looking at the same spot at the same time.
Yeah,
it's like the biggest Super Bowl ad they could have purchased is this fucking eclipse.
Yeah, that's true. Mr. Australia, call back. Sorry, me and Steve were in deep thought. And Joseph, I can't punch birds. I can punch moths. I've never punched a bird in the head, but I would be willing to try if it flies at my face. I will punch a bird if I have to. I wouldn't be afraid. All right, here we go. Mr. Australia's calling back. Hey, welcome to the night shift. What's going on, buddy?
Yo.
Hello. How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Wonderful.
No, pretty bloody good. Mr. Australia calling back.
Yeah.
That's all right. You guys are in deep thought. Yeah. Holy Julies. No, I don't even know why I called. I mean, I do. I've always got something going on. But, yeah, I've been trying to call in the last 3 weeks, and I've just got this backlog of stuff to talk about now. So we're going to have to do our own podcast or something just to get it out of the way.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's effectively the problem that I have all the time. Even on Twitter, something crazy is happening, and by the time you start reading about it, something else crazy is happening. So, yeah. Look, stuff's a bit nuts. Speaking of stuff that's a bit nuts, though, I was just thinking with the whole sky serpent. I kind of like when there's some kind of coincidence. Do we call it coincidence when things are around the other side of the world? They have the same mythology, the same names for everything. Because obviously, I've got no Aboriginal blood in me at all, but I did grow up with a lot of the Indigenous stories and mythology just as a kid. And can I tell you, some of it is absolutely fucking freaky. I don't know. I think they're just trying to traumatize kids in Australia because the stuff that we grew up with in terms of just fairy tales. The Quinkins is one that will stick with me forever, and some of those things are like demons, some of them are like Bigfoot, some of them are like Slender Man, and you kind of realize that these stories are like 30, 40, 50, whatever, 1,000 years old, and yet somehow keep drawing parallels with things that people are seeing today. Like Turramulli was one that used to scare the crap out of me as a kid, and for all the world, he's just Bigfoot. He's just a big hairy dude, 7-8 foot tall, making these weird wonk wonk sounds as he walked through the bush, just grabbing kids. Well, he used to like grab kids and stuff, so it wasn't the nicest.
I thought that's what you were getting ready to say, and I was like, wait a minute, I thought he wasn't that scary, and then all of a sudden now he's grabbing kids.
It's not scary for Australia, where
That's
everything's
true.
trying to kill you anyway.
You guys got a lot thicker skin than the rest of the world because everything kills you.
It. Well, like, yeah, that's fine, because there was the other ones as well with the Quinkans. There was these little guys called Imjim. They were the same. They'd nick off with kids, and then the other demon things would have to go get them. So it was freaky. But in terms of freaky, when JJ was just mentioning the sky serpent, obviously that's North. Wow, words. I'm good with words. Norse mythology, and the name again. I'm with JJ. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but Jormungand or whatever, Jormungand or
that
something.
Sounds right.
Something of that nature. Yeah, let's just roll with that. It's another one of those weird coincidences that Australia's Indigenous cultures also have the rainbow serpent, which is basically the creator god that we have down here in terms of mythology as a creator god. But what would probably, and I hope you got your shitting pants on, because what would really kind of freak you out a little bit is if you walk into the middle of like a remote Aboriginal community and you just show them a picture of the Norse god. They would just call that Yolungund. Like they've actually got the exact same name for it, even like down to the spelling, down to the vowels. It's the rainbow serpent, which they've had for like 30,000 years. And it's just kind of weird to me that the name is like one vowel off, and it's still just a bloody great big snake in the sky. And in this case, was the creator god. So you keep getting these weird little things all around the world where every mythology just seems to have dragons. Every mythology seems to have little people that are rather cheeky. It seems to always have really tall people that live in caves or just wander around in the bush with, everywhere you go, the mythology seems to check out. And some people might call them gremlins. Some people call them goblins. Some people call them Imjim. But the prevailing ideas of what the paranormal is stay really consistent. Like ghosts and goblins and elves, every culture, no matter how remote from the other one, seems to have it. But for me, definitely the fact that the rainbow serpent of Australia and the Norse one have pretty much the same name is something that struck me as, being a little bit too close for comfort. If some culture's got a massive big pudding called Bob that made the world, and someone else has got a great big snake, that's okay. I can live with that. They're making up their own shit. But when people are on the other side of the planet for 40,000 years apart, they come up with the exact same stuff, makes me feel that there's a bit more to it. It's a little bit freaky.
Dealing with the same old gods.
Exactly. Yeah. Everywhere you go, the old gods prevail. They're just there, and that really makes you wonder if there's more to it. But no, man, and also having that call earlier in the night, a ghost in the toilet. Obviously, I can relate to that as well. So these stories are just.
I knew that was coming up. I knew it was coming up.
All around the world, Ghost Dad and the Dunny. He's got his passport. He's off and running.
It's fucking awesome.
We can put that into the Parthenon now of ghosts as well. That exists. The Ghost Dad mythology. But there's been so many reasons to call up the last few weeks. There's so much going on. There was a circadian rhythm thing we were talking about earlier, and different dimensions, and obviously now this eclipse, which I'm glad I'm on the other side of the world. While you guys are shooting rockets at the moon or some shit, I'll be asleep. So let me know how it goes, I guess.
Sleep tight, man. And just go to bed and don't even worry about nothing.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, how everybody in Australia was handling the whole giant eclipse thing. If it's like a big deal, like it is here.
It's certainly a weird deal because, as I said, I've lived through a lot of eclipses, and every time there's an eclipse, we just kind of, as a child even, it's like, okay, everyone out in the playground, just squint your eyes a bit, look at the big birdie ball, look, big birdie ball's going away. That's kind of all it was. It was an eclipse. It's nothing freaky.
Yeah.
And now we keep on seeing these reports from the US, and they're like, stock up on water, stay away from the roads, get in your house, put your head between your knees and start whistling. Like, they're freaking out. And, well, this can't be a normal eclipse. Because it's not just, and not to offend most of the listeners here tonight, but it's not just some crazy person in their basement with a tinfoil hat saying this. This is the authorities.
Yeah.
This is the government that's saying, guys, this eclipse is going to kill you all. Please go inside. And that's not an eclipse. That's not an eclipse. I've got to tell you, that's not what that is.
I 100%
I don't know
agree.
what it is. It's absolutely, it's quite
about to
bizarre.
find
But no,
out.
the news has definitely hit us here. Yeah, that's it. Everyone sit tight. We're about to find out. And then, of course, if the eclipse happens and the eclipse goes and nothing eventuates, well, what are we to make of that? Are they just winding us up for something that is going to happen at some point?
What a waste of good rockets.
What a waste of good. I mean, and also, yeah, does NASA know how far away the moon is? Like, you don't get to fire rockets at an eclipse. That's not how light travels. That's not how physics works. You need to be launching the rockets like now if they're going to get there in a week's time.
How much more American is that than to just shoot rockets at it?
Yeah.
That was just the solution to everything.
That actually reminds me, wasn't there a meme going around or something where some asshole was talking about shooting guns into a hurricane that was coming into Florida? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Public service announcement. Please don't fire your guns at the hurricane.
That's it.
Hell yeah.
That's what America does.
Oh, God.
Logic goes right out the fucking window. We just want to blow everything up.
Look, how can you be sure if you haven't tried it?
Hey, I'm with it. I mean, you want to shoot stuff at the hurricane? Let's shoot stuff at the hurricane. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like imagine your surprise if you shoot the hurricane, it turns around and you save the town.
Yeah, it's like,
oh shit.
Wow, these guys are fighting back this time.
Live rounds. Live rounds.
No, so that would actually work really, really well, I would have thought. So, yeah, just got to try everything. Speaking of trying everything, are we actually doing this Holosky drink stuff from the fridge? Because I'm down.
Of course you are.
That was a tangent I just threw out there to trick all the.
As I said, I've got a bag of spinach in the fridge, as I was saying in chat, and it's making its own juice. So if you guys, I can send that to the PO box. I mean, the good thing is, you get to drink it, we get the content, and it also does contain its own penicillin, so you can also fix yourself up afterwards.
Steve, I feel like you need that more than I do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, go on.
I work outside all the time. You inhale carcinogens. Yeah, send it in the mail. Steve will get it, and then he'll be the one to drink it.
I don't feel like any amount of spinach juice is gonna get the carcinogens out of my body at this point.
Hey, like he just said, you gotta try it. You gotta at least try it.
I haven't shot rockets at it either.
That's true.
Yeah, you gotta try everything.
I'd say we do the spinach first, then the rockets.
Mm.
Yeah,
the other way around might not work.
What if you drink the spinach juice and then you're the only person to survive the eclipse?
Ooh, valid point.
Now we know for next time.
That's
The eclipse is coming. Let your spinach go off. Yeah. That will be the advice to live by.
Steve's the last person on the planet. He's like, I've got to repopulate the planet all by myself
with this spinach juice and these rockets.
That would just be the shittest sequel to I Am Legend. Just one dude walking around with a spinach bag. Just
that's filthy.
Oh my God. I don't know how these conversations happen, but no, I've definitely got to call in more often because the amount of things that have just been stacking up over the last few weeks. I'm like, I've got to call in, and then I don't.
It's been wild.
The lines get shut. Yeah. Oh man. You're telling me. And then, of course, yeah. No, the eclipse isn't next live, is it? It's 2 night shifts away.
2 night shifts. Yeah. Is it 2? Yeah, 2 night shifts, so. 1 night shift. Let me pull up the calendar.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, it's on the 6th, I think. So it's next night shift and an eclipse. So
yeah, we have one night shift left before the
end of it all.
Yes.
For all hell breaks loose and the Australian rainbow serpent bursts from the sky. Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. That night shift's gonna be an interesting one.
Wow.
Yeah. Post eclipse night shift. It's either gonna be real boring or real crazy.
Or just
well,
you and a microphone and a bag of spinach and lots of loneliness.
It's true.
yeah, still broadcasting.
Just in case anyone else out there is listening.
Just doing my due diligence.
Oh,
You
my.
have to. You have to.
My Lord. But no, I do have a couple of backup stories that I haven't quite burnt through everything I went through as a kid, but they're definitely starting to distill themselves down to just one or two extra stories. So I've got to have some reason to call back.
Absolutely.
But so I'm going to whack those in the back burner again. But yeah, just to say that for some bizarre reason, mythology correlates all around the world. I don't understand, but it makes me think twice. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Everything from the ghost dad to the snakes in the sky. But anyway, I will either let somebody else call in or let you get some sleep. I don't know which one you're going with next, but I'll let you do one of the two.
Right on. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah. But no, I'll definitely call back in soon. And if I actually ever pull my finger out, I'll have a little podcast going as well. But that's been on the back burner for a while as well.
Yeah. It'll
It's
come
not
around
my
when it
fault.
comes
We feel
around.
that. We feel that.
It'll come around. It'll be one of those podcasts that does like one episode a year, but it'll be an absolute banger.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, but no, everyone, Holocult and you too, everyone has a really great night.
You as well, brother.
See you, brother.
All right, much love.
You
Bye.
too. Gotta love those calls. Gotta love those calls.
I was definitely interested in if the eclipse was a big a deal down under. Can you imagine? Can you imagine
Probably not.
if a portal opens, right? And whatever comes through is friendly. And the first thing that happens is it gets hit with 3 rockets. It's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Welcome to
gonna be
America, bitch.
Pissed.
Welcome to America. That's exactly what the fuck's gonna happen. Welcome to America. This is how we do.
Yeah.
We blow shit up and then we ask questions.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes, man. Just like punching moths.
How are we at 2 hours again?
I don't know. It went by fast.
What?
Went by fast.
Yeah.
And you have to work in the morning. I thankfully do not.
They think I do.
I ain't working. I'm outie 5,000. I'm outie 5,000. Yeah. So, that just is what it is. Is what it is. I just want to, before we completely wrap up here, being that we're at 2 hours already, just thanks for everybody being cool. I know we get a lot of criticism on how we should do things. And a lot of times we hear that criticism and we try to do our best. We try to do our interpretation of. Right? We're not perfect. And the whole thing about us being more professional or being something else, the thing with me and Steve is that when we started this, that is how we didn't want to be. Because whereas we are doing our own thing, and at the same time, we're creating a space for everybody to talk about all their weird shit. But at the same time, and I've talked to Steve about it behind the lines, so to speak, how I want to make it, but I want to make it on our terms. I don't want to be what everybody else is doing. I don't want to be that ultra professional person that never has a single second to say hi to any of you guys or treat you guys like a fucking number and not a listener / friend. in the end. And I think for the most part, that's actually working. Like, because all you people here are generally really cool people. And we're attracting that type of individual. And not to mention, I don't know about you, Steve, but I really, really, really just want to prove that you don't have to be a selfish fucking prick to make it somewhere in life.
Fucking
That you can be a cool person and be a good person and do the right thing and still make it.
Yep. That was to be 100% honest, like making it was never really in the cards when we started.
No, absolutely no.
No.
No,
We
still
never anticipated anyone listening outside of probably our family group, our friend group, and it just sort of built itself into its own thing. Now you
Yep.
guys have just taken it and ran with it, and we're just here talking about shit.
Yeah.
And the fact
But
that we
now
haven't,
like it has evolved to a point where maybe we could. Most likely we're not, but maybe we could. But it's really important that we stay true to who we are and try not to get sucked into all these fucking traps that we see everybody else sucking into.
yeah,
Like me and Steve have to remember, no matter what, to always be me and Steve.
yep. I mean, that's what all of you came here for. Like that's
Right.
I feel like our personalities, as flawed as they are why you're here. Anybody can get weird stories off of the internet and talk about them. You know, essentially, anybody that has a platform can use that for people to share their experiences. So the only variable that really stands out is me and Kyle, and giving you guys that, just being the voice for you guys, and it's made you all just kind of congregate here and build this community, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's super, like I couldn't be more proud of what me and Steve have created and what you all have created. Because you have all you're all a part of this too.
Yeah.
And it's been really important that me and Steve, I mean, we've had these conversations a million times outside of all of this stuff. It's important that we stay true to like the cool thing about it is like this is kind of a blunt way to put it, but if you're a fucking asshole, me and Steve don't have to go on your show. We don't have to have you on our show. We don't have to like you. We get to choose.
That is,
Like,
there are benefits to
right.
being the host of the show.
We don't have to do the things that we think are wrong, and vice versa. If we think somebody else is getting shafted, but me and Steve are on that on their team, hey, well, let's get them on the show. Let's do what we want to do. We always want to just be us, and especially like with this night shift, it is not. Night shift is supposed to be 100% opposite of professional. Like it is exactly how I envisioned it to be. Having call-ins, having like random open conversation, not scripted. It's supposed to be very chaotic.
Go back and listen to early 2000s, late 1990s Art Bell. Dude, that was the art was a lot of cool things back then, and Perfect was not one of them.
Right. And you can tell when people start to lose their way. You can 100% tell every single time. When people start looking at it too much like a business or whatever takes them away from the original passion they had. Whatever that is. Money, influence, whatever. You can tell the moment it happens. You can tell. And I don't want that to leave, because I was thinking about it last week on our night shift, how it went from like talking these serious topics to talking to music and then back into serious. I'm like, and I know there were people that were wanting us to just stay weird, the whole time, but I was talking to my wife about it. I'm like, first and foremost, had a fucking blast. Had a fucking blast. And I'm like, and B, more importantly, like that right there was a real representation of me and Steve conversation. To the purist. God's honest truth. That is how we operate. We'll start on these weird subjects. Then we straight loop-to-loop curveball.
Yeah.
Over here on to Creed and argue about a song for 15 minutes. And then we come back. We reel ourselves back in.
We have the attention span of like a ladybug.
Oh, that is facts.
So
that's facts. But for me, there's so much fun. It's a blast, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think it'd be harder for me and Kyle to change who we are.
Yeah.
Honestly. It would be so out of pocket and so weird that everybody would be like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah. Yeah. And it is what it is, man. Like if we don't make it, we don't make it. Underground Kings for life.
Bastard sons of the paranormal.
Right. That's right. That's right. It'll be forever a moment we held in time. At the bare minimum. Probably one of the coolest things we've ever done.
Oh yeah. I'll stand on that. Outside of like my family, this is easily the most fulfilling thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I've got to meet awesome people, become close with awesome people all over the world, which is that fact alone still like Jeff called in from Australia.
This is insanity.
Is Australia even real?
No, it's not
It's like
at all.
Ohio.
It is.
It's even real.
It's probably what they have hidden in the Grand Canyon that we can't go access.
Yeah, it's Australia's probably in the Grand Canyon.
That's what I'm saying. It is in there.
Solved.
And they just have us all tricked into thinking it's a huge island with massive creatures that'll eat you.
Spiders.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The size of my house.
God damn.
This big spider, dude. I ain't punching that one.
I do want to not change the mood because that's where it is. Like I don't think we have anything to worry about. Me and Kyle's authenticity.
No.
Because if that were the case, do you know how much I got annihilated for the amount that I cussed on the show? Like I honestly, there was one episode early, probably first 20 episodes, where I tried to cut it out and it was so uncomfortable. It was so out of pocket for me. I'm like, I cannot do this for forever. So we lost a pretty good chunk of fan base because I let the F-bombs just soar.
Oh, I'm not any better.
That's just how it is.
We've gotten better over time, but
yeah,
that's like a subconscious collective thing that we've just done.
Yeah. But that was a huge issue when we started.
Dude, I got ripped apart on a 6,000 word essay about my opinions on World War II because I wasn't a Hitler fanboy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the things, man.
But
one of them
to circle back around to last week's chat, I do need to let everyone know that I did get a text from Kyle that said you were right.
Oh yeah.
That opening verse on What If is a ripper, isn't it?
It's not bad. It's not bad. I hate that I even I hate that I listened to it and I went, fuck, he's right. Fuck.
I also want to point out that when I changed the timeline last week, when we were talking about Fred Durst, collectively it worked because announced today, one Mr. Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins and Mr. Fred Durst, Fred Biscuit, is starting a paranormal UFO and conspiracy theory podcast.
So number one goal, Hollow Colt,
one step
we have
closer
to get on. We have to get on that show. Steve and I have to get on that show.
to getting Fred Biscuit on this show.
Bro, I'm saying right now, whether we go on their show or they come on our show, for you and
That's
me,
it. That's pinnacle.
that's like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
For you and me, that's like Joe Rogan.
We need all. Also, I don't even know which one he uses. Fred uses TikTok a lot.
So he's
Fucking
about to get hit up on Instagram.
Mercules put out just a video and he's like, it'd be cool if Fred Durst would get on a track with me. Who fucking messaged him like 2 seconds later? Fred Durst was like, yo, send me something.
It's awesome. That is fucking awesome.
We had boots on the ground in Kyle's house saying he might have been singing it in the shower.
I don't remember. I don't recall. It's all blur.
No proof. No proof.
Yeah.
Speaking of boots on the ground, we do have people in Schuylkill County trying to find us some Schuylkill notes. So hopefully those
I had a
end
few
up-
reach out on Instagram too, talking about it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did collectively change the timeline to where now Fred is directly in
All right.
our path.
Yeah. So here we go. I'm gonna do this right now. Just so everybody's bear witness. Hang on. Just sit with me. Fred Durst.
We should do
There you go,
spaces
right
instead.
there.
What is spaces on? Is that Twitter? X?
Is that his real? Is this?
How many
This is
people on
definitely
it?
the real Fred Durst. I'm gonna message the real Fred Durst right now.
Say, hey, I heard you're starting a UFO podcast. Let's talk about some weird shit. Limp pumpkins. Smashing biscuits.
I'm putting that in there.
Say, hey, we talk about weird shit. You want to talk about weird shit? Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, you nerds.
Hang loose sign, metal sign.
That if that doesn't lock it in, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. I said, hey bro, massive fan. Heard you're starting a Limp Pumpkins podcast about UFOs and weird shit. Well, we do that too. And it'd be pretty badass to link up and do a show. Hang loose, metal sign.
If that doesn't work, I don't know what will.
That's what I'm saying. But everybody bear witness. I just messaged Fred Durst.
Spam Fred Durst until he has to come on the show.
Yeah. Just start on
Oh.
Instagram. Just start tagging him in everything on Instagram. Just tag Fred Durst, Fred Durst, Fred Durst.
If we go to the St. Louis show, I'm gonna throw a T-shirt at him.
That's probably a
A
pretty good
Holosky
idea.
T-shirt at him.
That needs to be our boots on the ground.
Shooting our shot.
They'll probably
shot.
think it's not a shirt.
What'd they think it was?
I mean, think about your action there.
Grenade.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of fucked up shows, but nobody's ever thrown a grenade.
No. I hope that never fucking happens.
I got hit in the face with a boot, but never a grenade.
Sucks.
Yeah, it did suck. 2 black eyes.
Oh yeah. So new mission, Holocult.
Manifest Durst.
Yes, manifest. Durst.
Durst.
I hope he just sees the Limp Pumpkin and is like, that's pretty funny. I'll fuck with these guys. Because that's what I would do. I would be like, you know what? That's pretty good. I'm gonna have to check these guys out.
They're clever. And he doesn't have to worry about cussing.
I don't know about clever. I would accept that he would just call us.
I feel sorry for these guys.
No, just call us bad names, but basically these are stupid guys.
Yeah.
And I
Is he
fuck with
wrong?
them. And I fuck with them.
Like I said, I feel like we would get along good.
I mean, I feel like that would
I
be.
feel like the banter would be
reasonable.
money.
It would probably be a little out of control.
I'm gonna tell you, early 2000s. If anybody's seen some weird shit, Fred Durst's seen some weird shit.
100%. 100%.
It's gonna be there's gonna be some paranormal talk, but I don't think it's kind of paranormal we're used to.
Yeah. That's okay though. We're here for it.
Yeah.
We're here for it.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, that's about all I had. I just wanted to say thanks to everybody who accepts us for being fucking weirdos and not smart and bad at everything.
But at least we're not good at everything.
Yeah, we just attract a particular crowd. I'm not talking shit about anybody who has critiqued us. You have to realize that this is all over text. You're critiquing. Very easy to take things out of context and let our emotions get a little wild.
I'm just saying.
And then we settle down.
If you poke us, we're going to poke back. And we just happen to have a bigger platform. So
well, I don't even care about the platform. Sometimes you just...
I'm just saying.
You strike a nerve. Then we bark at you a little bit. And then...
It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
A lot of it doesn't bother me. It'll bother me for like 3 seconds, and I'm like, oh, wait, it's just the internet.
Yeah.
That's why I don't internet.
It's a necessary evil, unfortunately.
I don't internet. Because if you keep poking at me, I'm just going to say, I'm sorry that your life sucks. Go punch drywall. Remind yourself how badass you are. And then smile. Because now you're the baddest dude out there.
That's what we did before we went to X.
Punch a fucking drywall.
Got ourselves hyped.
Yeah, Speed's got holes all over his house.
Yeah.
We got all hyped and punched holes in his walls.
Oh, man. But yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us. Another banger night shift. Thanks for everybody that called in.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for all of you hanging out in the chat. Thanks for all our podcast pals out there that come in and kick it with us every week. There's a consistent number of you that take the time, because if anybody knows the amount of time and energy it takes to be a content creator, it's me and Kyle. And to come in and hang out with us for the time that you guys hang out with us, it does not go unnoticed. I've been trying to pop on in people's lives as they're going as much as I can. If for nothing else, just show support.
Yeah.
I know I popped into Bigfoot Societies the other day. I popped into Eric was a guest on a show.
I tried watching that the other day. It wouldn't let me in.
Oh,
it was last night because I was playing the Division, and I was like, "Oh, he's going live. I'm gonna check it out while I play." I could listen to it and still kind of game a little bit, and it wouldn't let me into it for some reason. It just kept saying one waiting, and it just froze.
That's weird.
I refreshed it. I kept going out of it, going back into it, which wouldn't let me do it.
By the time I got the notification on the Discord, they were wrapping it up.
Oh,
He
really?
was plugging Bigfoots and Brews and Spirits too.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was over. I don't know. No, because I saw it when he said we're going live in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I had missed it, but I still just popped in there and just let him see we were kicking it. But yes, support all of our friends.
Please
send them some likes.
Don't forget, Hulk. We need to start tagging the shit out of Fred Durst.
Manifest Durst.
We have to.
Hashtag Manifest Durst. So that wraps up another week. Everybody get through it. Be safe. Have a good holiday weekend this weekend if you're celebrating. Enjoy time with your family. Enjoy some good food and hangouts. And everybody just be safe. We don't know what's coming around the bend in the next few weeks. Could be nothing. Could be something. But just kind of keep it in the back of your mind. Keep your brain ready for anything that's gonna happen. And till we meet again, stay safe, stay weird, and manifest Durst.